Okay, so chapter 2. And if you haven't figured out by now, none of this is scripted. I'm literally just like, I've got it playing in front of me and I'm just going to talk about it naturally as it happens. Um, this is just going to be like all of the stuff that is non-bosses. There'll be a little bit of some boss content, but it won't be the kills. It'll be a few of the like fuck-ups, maybe. But yeah, this is just stuff that I just feel like was good stuff, like stuff worthy of like being in the highlight reel for the journey that doesn't necessarily fit into being a boss kill. Um, so these three mobs, which I've managed to pull just two of, which is a skill in itself. These just seem to keep coming back. There's like all those areas in like I think there's an area in the DLC in Dark Souls 2 where you have to fight three, and then they did it again in Bloodborne where there's that trio. Everyone remembers that trio from Bloodborne because there's like no way to just pull two of them. You always seem to pull three, and it's a fucking nightmare. Well, I can't believe they decided to put this back in the game. And at NG plus like 4, this is ridiculous. They are so tanky for what is supposed to be emulating players. At this stage, again, just like with the PvP video, you see I'm still donning the Lortric armor, which was a noob move, but I couldn't think of what armor was good, so I was just like, I just threw on like the strongest armor I could for the weight I was able to bear, which didn't benefit me that much, to be honest. So I can't believe this mage. Does anyone remember this mage being this fucking hard to fight? Like, getting parried left and right is not the one. It just made me think of like RuneScape. Like, should I be using a bow to fight this mage? And you know, the like rock paper scissors of melee mage and ranger. Because this is just like every time I move in. Absolutely not good. If only I had more mana to do that. But at least I know she's got no Estus, so... And then she just stops parrying. I don't get it. Freaking auto parry bots. Oh god, this. I knew when I saw him in that doorway, I thought I'm going to have to double back, and I thought, but I can hear him right on my heels. Never forget what game you're playing. Praise the bloody expensive. That made me laugh. I assume he means like praise the DLC, you know. It's never cheap, is it?
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it? I thought that clamoring tin can was the last. But here we go again.
She really just called me a clamoring tin can.
Your head's square on your shoulders.
Square like my helm.
I thought that clamoring tin can was the last. But here we go again.
Unbelievable. How rude was that? I felt like I was personally attacked. Okay, so at this point, I remember thinking to myself, I want to go through the DLC now with a bit more style. Like I've thrown the Lortric armor to the wind, and I'm just like, okay, I'll go pure fashion souls. So I totally redesigned my outfit, and I remember thinking to myself, I look so sick, but I should take some footage of this so I don't forget like how my character looked. And I thought I may as well just like include some of like what I was using so that I don't have the same problem I had before where I logged in and I didn't have any equipment on. So now I can see like how I made my character look good. Just a bit of vanity for the highlight reel. Oh god, this was a waste of time, wasn't it? So I'm here just like proper crafty, like just cheesing, shooting with a bow. Just like I did all of the undead dragons in original Dark Souls and every stupid enemy that you're obviously not supposed to fight directly. but I'm just like coming around here, find the ring, happy with it. Of course I'm having a look at it right away, and then I hear something, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And of course it respawned. I knew it was going to happen as well. That's the thing. And my immediate thought was, do I jump off that ledge? And I do try jumping off that ledge one time, but that's not the way either. God, this game sucks sometimes. I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking to myself, I'll immediately move up there as he jumps down. And I was like, yeah, I can jump off onto his head. This is perfect. This is exactly how I'll fight this guy. Easy. Everyone who played Dark Souls 1 learnt this, like, you know, in boot camp. It's just how it happens. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, this guy's easy. What a great farm. But it's surprisingly difficult to replicate that after I did it so easily that first time. And after fighting through what was a bit of a puzzle area, I'm thinking, oh, I've just got to do it again. Mobs just spawning next to me apparently. Even though this area was pretty trolling, I did have a lot of fun with it. I do think this is a bit unfair. Yeah, never forget what game you're playing. Never forget. So I finally got myself to a boss. A boss which is just fucking... just constantly shit getting in your camera angles. At this point I'm like spiked mace, bit of bleed. I read somewhere they're weak to bleed. I read somewhere they're weak to dark. And I'm like, oh yeah, so I'll put dark on my mace, you know. I've been leveling a lot of my stats equally, and you know, I've still got loads of potential points to put in dexterity and intellect, so I could keep putting points in there and keep getting stronger, so this fight could only get easier even if I have to like level up a bit more. But yeah, then it turns out that actually this doesn't hit this guy that hard, but the bleed is still effective against him. But I could have been doing so much more damage. But yeah, again, like inconsistent information. Some websites are really good, but the need for like doing a bit of research is only there because you know, I'm playing on NG+4. This is not, and this is my first time doing this content, and these health pools are pretty ridiculous. And this is a pretty, I mean, I'm not going to say it's an easy boss, but this is a pretty forgiving boss compared to the what's to come. I've got no Estus. I had to dodge things. I did. You can't believe it. I can't believe it. Why did I go for this here? I didn't have time for that. I should have just gone for the kill. I was gutted. Okay, so this is this is just the way that I realise there's an absolute cheese for how you can really easily farm souls at this high level. You just go and use the spell report, mind control these guys up here. They drop an absolute obscene amount of souls. And then you just backstab them to death if not. If you don't want to use a homeward bone or the coiled sword to just teleport back, you could come all the way down here and put your lift down. Easy. Oh god, I had so much trouble like fighting these things. I actually had to look it up. I was just like, so what am I supposed to do, like, with my sword? And the answer is to, like, kick them over, to flip them. But trying to land the kick so consistently is such a fucking pain in the ass. It turns out that just, like, overpowering them is better with a two-handed weapon. So for that area, you just better to go two-handed. It was around about this time I decided that I think I want to play, like, caster going into Elden Ring, because even though I wasn't, hadn't got very many points into faith, like for like a pure caster build, I was I switched that to a staff, I think it's here, and I just like start using a few spells. It's not like the strongest spell, but I was thinking to myself, like, it would be nice to like change my range for a change and just do something new. I put a lot of investment into Faith in this game. Played a lot of Pyro in like Dark Souls 1, and about the only thing I've not covered is trying to make sorcery work. So I'd like to go more down that route, I think, in Elden Ring. And to be honest, this guy, I gave him a bit of everything. Gave him a lot of swords, some spells, some environment damage. Very tanky boy. I really didn't struggle with them enemies too much at all, but you have got to take them one by one. Again, big two-hander overpowering, and I realised that this axe is like real good scaling for just overwhelming a couple of hits. So, upon entering here, I wasn't actually sure if this was a player invasion. When I realised it was, when I realised obviously I wasn't embered, and it's just an NPC one, I was like, ah, good, it's just an NPC one. And then I see the size of this hammer, and I'm like, well, we all know that's game over if that hits us. But yeah, this little bastard, I did actually beat him the first time, but that is so scary, isn't it? I was thinking to myself, it may well be worth upgrading this hammer, because surely this could be like the heaviest hitting weapon in the game now. See, I didn't know at this point, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, if I respec and I like put all my points in strength, it might be worth going down that route for some of these tankier bosses, because I could already feel that the health pools were just obscenely large. Like, usually a lot of the DLC bosses, they're all hard in every Souls game, like everyone knows it, but they've never done what to the health pools what they seem to have done in this game. And I thought maybe I've got to upscale the damage, and that's the only way to overcome it. Can't believe this guy got brought back in. This. Can you fucking believe it? Like, I was blocking, and he just somehow manages to get behind my block and one-shot me. I'm using the Irithel straight sword again, which apparently is I had no idea, but until I watched a guy play through all of the Souls games recently, all of the Frostbite stuff is actually pretty good PvE as well as PvP, and I had no idea that it was like almost used as a crutch for a lot of people for their first playthroughs for Dark Souls 3. Like the hammer from what is it, Bort of the Boreal Valley or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, like all of the frost stuff is supposed to be really effective for pretty much everything, and I had no idea. See, I couldn't really see like what effect it had outside of PvP, because nothing seems to really suffer frostbite. Like, I've never really noticed anything attacking any less or changing its moveset. So it's just like another version of bleed, isn't it? But it doesn't necessarily do like as much damage. And if you're going to go bleed, I don't see why you wouldn't just go down the katana road. Like, everybody knows, like, dex builds are reliable. It's the sign of a good get good, isn't it?
My thanks.
So this girl is asking for my name, and you give the name, and then she's painting a world about this like gentle place that's dark, cold, and I think my interpretation of this is, because of all of the time travel involved in the game, she's actually using me as a template to paint the world that will turn into the Abyss, and I think this is where the Abyss originates.
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it? I thought that clamoring tin can was the last, but here we go again.